Right, hi everybody. This is a little video, just a very straightforward, simple video on how to make a bookmark. Okay, and what I want to show you is just some couple of basic kind of wet watercolour methods, and once it's all bone dry, we'll paint a silhouette of whatever over the top. Okay, so and you can use whatever method you want, whatever colours you want, and that's the beauty about something like this. It's a means of just playing with the paint without getting into what we normally do, which is the usual fine detail. I think the fun part about all of this as well is that you can use whatever colours you want, you can use whatever technique you want, you could put masking fluid on there, you could put some sea salt or normal table salt within the wet paint to get like a starburst effect. So I'm going to wet it all down. I can start to see it's starting to lift and warp a little bit now. This is Bockingford 300 GSM £140 paper, which I tend to use for most of my paintings, if not all. So I'm going to keep wetting it. I don't want to wet it too much. I don't keep scrubbing it because you'll end up kind of damaging the paper. Okay. And what you do, you normally let it soak in just that little bit, just so it's ready and waiting to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is get some of the phthalo blue, and that phthalo blue is going to be dropped in first. Okay. Lovely rich colour this, isn't it? The consistency is quite watery. Bearing in mind it's going to get lighter because it's going onto a wet paper. Alright. So keep working it down, probably about a third of the way. And I'm going to pop into some of the... I've not even bothered washing the brush out here because I'm going into a dark colour. This is the darker blacky browny colour, which is the Payne's Grey. I forgot the name of it then, I do apologise. As I mentioned before, I'm hopeless with names. So it's Payne's Grey, just dropping into the very top, just to kind of darken the top of that area. Now I'm going to wash the brush out, and then down this area here, I just want to soak this up a little bit with a clean brush. I don't want it going all the way down if I can help it. Doesn't really matter, to be honest with you, but... Okay, we're going to go into the alizarin crimson, and I'm going to pop in some of this colour into here. This will turn purpley, which is fine. And probably a little line of that below, a bit more. Oh, look how rich that is. It's a rich, rich colour. Lovely. So that's the alizarin crimson. I'm going to bring it up a little bit higher on that as well, just so it's a bit higher on the board, on the paper. And then, soak that a little bit up there a little bit. I'm going to go into the yellow ochre and put a little line of that underneath. Just down to here. Because when you think the bottom section of this is going to be a dark colour, it's going to be blacky blue on down the bottom for the silhouette. So we don't need to paint anything there, that's not a problem. Try not to bring anything down from above if you can help it, so make sure you drag it upwards if you can. As you can see, I'm always bringing down that colour there. So I don't want to kind of dirty this area too much. Okay, so that'll do for that just about. And what I'll probably do with that is let that dry. Leave it to dry, and then just put a little bit more yellow ochre in there actually. Leave it to dry, and then we'll come back in shortly with a darker colour, which will be the silhouette. Okay, once it's nice and bone dry. Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. Now for the next side. Right, as I mentioned, we're going to start off with this side. Okay, so I'll just move myself around a little bit. And what we're going to use is black and blue. So just going to get a little bit of lamp black and some French ultramarine, okay? So I'll mix some of that up and mix it to probably a creamy consistency if you can. And we'll get that mixed up and then start working on this. Right, the paint is now mixed, so what I'm going to do first of all, I think, is get probably a size 2 brush or something like that. I might have to go a bit bigger. Yeah, size 2 will be fine. So a little bit bluey black, and we're going to kind of paint in just a little bit of an outline. Jiggle it around. Give a shaky hand while you're doing this. Remember, this is very simple, okay? Just a very simple kind of painting, nothing flash. That's all we're trying to do. And then we're going to fill all this in. So you can use a bigger brush if you want to, you don't have to use a small brush. Fill it all in, keep it wet. One way of kind of filling in and keeping a wet edge all the time, just as a tip for you, if you work in a line like this, you'll always end up with like a run line, because my board is on a slight angle. So you'll always end up with like a bit of a run line on the edge, which means it stays wet. And because it's staying wet longer, it doesn't dry and we get a hard lined edge. Okay, so remember that run line. So that's why it's always wise to use a fully loaded brush when you're doing this. Okay, remember these are going to be very simple silhouettes. That's all they are, just as a bit of fun. I may speed this up a little bit because this is just a quick extra video for you. As I keep promising, I'll pop one or two in every now and then. I keep giving you little bonus videos. Something you can try at home that doesn't kind of take much to do, and it's a bit of fun, and you can have a bit of play with it as well. You don't have to be so precise as you would normally be, as I am with all my detail painting. Okay, right, so that's that on. Oh, I love doing these. These are fun, they really are. Okay, wash your brush out, make sure it's nice and clean. And I'm going to go into my detail brush now. So I think what I'm going to do is paint a simple, probably a simple deer or something like that on there. So I think what I'll probably do, I'm trying to see how I'm going to do this. Let's put one here. So I'm going to go for a little deer on here, or probably even a stag. If you have a look on the old internet, you'll find lots of silhouettes kind of designs. Make sure you get a royalty-free one. Right, so there's no cost or anything like that, so nobody moans at you for using their images. So double check that first before you do anything like that. And then I think what I'm going to do, let's think about a belly shape and a back leg. Got to think about I don't want the back leg to be too long, so I want to bring this up a little bit here. Otherwise I'll have a very long leg. So a little back leg there. Just thinking it through as I'm going along. And then probably, that's a bit blobby, probably, this is what I mean, you can have fun with this, that's the beauty of it, doing something like this. Little leg there, a little bump on there I think as well. I've got a very drawn out image in front of me which I'm trying to work from, so bear with me a minute. And I'm going to work on the back of the deer. So he's got a bit of a bottom going out there. He's got his bottom stuck out. And I think probably bring his belly down a little bit as well. Okay, coming together. You don't have to do anything like this, you can do whatever you want. Put a fence on there, a few trees, whatever you want to do. Doesn't really matter. Okay, funny looking deer I must admit, but it works. So, bit of a bump on the top of the back. Bring his head and neck round, and then he's got a bit of a front like that. Okay, and then we've got an ear. Where? Ear. And then we've got a bit of a mouth, a bit of a muzzle going around there, bit of a forehead. This is fun. This is just makes it completely different to what I would normally do, and that's why I'm doing it in front of you guys, just as a bit of fun. Okay, let's think about some antlers on this now and see what we can kind of make up as we go along. So, okay, like that. Think about trees and the way trees grow. Trees always grow from the ground upwards, so that means it's going to go thicker than thinner as it gets up into the sky. And antlers are going to be very similar to that, I would have thought. Kind of grows from the head upwards. I'm trying to do this sideways, so bear with me a minute. I don't want to kind of get in front of the camera shot. So that again will go something like that, and then like that. Okay, and a few more kind of coming off there, and there, and there. Okay, right. So we've got a deer, funny shaped one, but it works. Okay. And if you want to, put a few grass blades here and there as well. Alright. And that will give you some ideas. Oh, that wasn't meant to be a pun. On the things you can do, just doing a basic kind of bookmark. And that's the first one. Alright. So have a play with something like this. You can see why you can do something like this. Very simple. Use whatever image you've got. It doesn't have to be anything silly or anything fantastic. You can put a couple of birds in the sky. If you want to, you can just put usual kind of M birds. So a little dot, then an M. You just miss it off the camera, so like that, look. It's a little dot and an M, or you can actually draw a proper bird on there if you've got the paint to do it or got the time to do it. So if you wanted to, let's put one slightly higher up. I could probably put a little bird here as well, maybe. So let's think about the wings and the shape of a wing. Okay, comes around and the same kind of dips down like so, and then we've got to think about a head and opposite wing. So do a typical of that. So it's going to be like that ish. A few strandy feathers coming off the end. As I say, it's a way of playing. It really is. It's just a good way of having to play with the paints and just see what you produce. If it doesn't come out, you know, save it, look at it another day, throw it in the bin, whatever you want to do. It doesn't really matter. It's all for a bit of fun. So stick a bird in the sky. So there you go. And that's just one of the bookmarks. I'll just zoom out a little bit. We'll let that dry and then we'll take the tape off shortly. And that's just a little bit of fun kind of making a bookmark. So what you would do at this stage, you would take off the tape. Here we go, we ready? Just zoom out a little bit for you. So you can see both of these. Just so we can see the edge of the paper. We'll take off the tape, which will give you a nice kind of edge, as long as it's not gone underneath the tape, which it may have done in my case. And then we'll do the same on that one. Take off the top one, excuse my arm being in the way, and take off this one. Standing out well, and then we'll come to this one. Bear with me a minute. I do like the kind of mottled effect of that salt on there, it does look quite nice. And then finally we got this one. Trying to get my arm out of the way here. Always pull away, not towards the picture, okay, as I said before, otherwise you risk tearing the painting. And there we go. So there's two nice bookmarks which you could use in your books or whatever you're doing. And there's so many ideas you can do with these. You know, you can obviously add a bit of sea salt, as we've done with this one, which is table salt, or sea salt, which is going to give you a larger effect. You can flick masking fluid on the sky to give a more starry effect, you know, like we did with the masking fluid technique. So there's so many ways you can do with this, and just have a play and see what you can create yourself. So if you want to stick a hole in the top, put a ribbon through it, anything. Makes nice little presents to give away to people as well. Hope you enjoyed that one, and we'll see what else I can provide for you next. Take care now. Bye bye.